Okay, the lead gen system that made our client $332,742 per month. Now, before we get into this, a lot of you know what I'm about to share, but knowing something and actually doing it are two very different things. So if you're here, it's probably because you know what you should be doing, but you haven't yet, which is why a lot of people work with us. So let's get into it. All right. Here's the disclaimer. First and foremost, you have to understand these first three rules, right? The lead generation only works if you have these three rules. It's not complicated, but when you have all three of these things, we call this quality at scale at Totally Branded, which is my company. Oh, my cat is making a feature. Hey, Beans. All right. So Beans, don't step on the mic. Don't step on the mic. So the first thing that you need to have in order for your lead generation to work is volume, right? So the more outreach that you're doing, the more you get back. Yeah, 1 DM a day is not good volume. The second thing is value, because volume without value is just spam, and you do not want to be spamming your niche, especially if you have a small niche. You don't want to be known as that guy. So what does value mean? It means understanding your niche and being able to give them a good offer, give them a good freebie, and have your messaging actually resonate with what they actually need and what they say they need, what their goals and their pains actually are. And my cat's destroying everything. Stop it, Beans. Are you actually giving them a reason to respond to your message, right? And the third is quality of leads. A lot of people forget this, right? Of course, without quality of leads, you're doing spam. Recently, I received a message from somebody who was like, hey, we do office cleaning in Vancouver, but would you be interested? And I thought, man, they have bad quality of leads because I work remotely. I don't have an office. An automation that reaches out to everyone is not quality. And so in order for people to feel that real human connection from you, they have to feel like the value is for them that you're putting out there, that they're the right person that should be receiving this message, and you need to do enough of that per day to get the volume. So a lot of the times what happens is that the founder or a key team player in the business will do their own outreach. And that's great because they get value and they get quality of leads, but they always miss the volume. And sometimes they like to hire a lead gen agency, and what happens is they get a lot of volume, but then they start to miss the value and quality of leads. No bueno. If you miss any of these three, the whole thing kind of falls apart. So keep this in mind when we go through every step. So step one to building lead generation that gets these sort of results is to build your offer. Now, most people think they already figured it out. Some people have read Alex Hormozi's book. I have read some of it. It's pretty good. But yeah, a lot of people think that they have their offer figured out. Usually they don't, or at least they haven't really thought deeply enough about their offer. So here's usually what happens is when you build a business, you usually get really wrapped up in what you do because you're passionate about it and you care about what you do. Say, for example, you do SEO, or you really care about cybersecurity, right? And you kind of stop thinking about what the lead cares about. And so your offer sounds like you're just talking to yourself instead of talking to them. So this is what your offer needs to be built around. The first thing is the specific pain points of your niche. And these are not pains that you assume they have. It's what they tell you they have. The next is the specific goals of your niche. It's the same thing. It's not what you think they have, it's what they tell you they have. For example, a social media marketing agency might say, yes, our clients, their goals is to get 100,000 views per month. But when you actually talk to the client themselves, they might say that their goals are actually to go to more speaking events with the social media marketing. Now, how do you find the specific pain points and the specific goals of your niche? Usually, if you hear the same objection over and over again from the same kind of person, or if they tell you a pain point over and over again when you're doing your sales calls, write it down. And if you hear the same goal over and over again, then that is what your offer should be promising. If you don't have any data yet, go outside, go talk to people. Interview anyone in your desired niche you can get your hands on and ask them what is keeping them up at night. Ask them where they want to be in 12 months. Listen more than you talk in this case because you are just conducting surveys, interviews, and this is called product market fit. Here's a fun fact. A lot of the founders and the C-suites that come to us to help them build offers already know this information because they've spoken to enough people in their niche and they've worked with enough people in their niche. They're just so caught up in their own world of what they do best. And the reason why their offer isn't working is they just simply haven't thought deep enough about their niche. They're usually still describing their offer in terms of what they do instead of what their client gets. Those are two completely different things. Step 2, build a freebie or low ticket product. So once your offer is dialed in, you need an entry point, something that gets people to raise their hand before they are ready to buy. Some people call this lead magnets. I just call it a freebie because I think it's more fun. We do free trials at Totally Branded. Some people do audits, some people do scorecards, guides, or mini consultations. The format just does not matter as much as one thing. The freebie has to be so good that people genuinely believe it could help solve their problem. Not interesting, but actually believable. If someone reads your freebie offer and thinks, that sounds too good to be free, then you are on the right track. But don't go too overboard, because yeah, people are pretty exhausted with overpromising and under-delivering. Shout out to the wave of new offers coming around guaranteeing crazy stuff. Here's an example. Our old offer, our 7K and 7-day free trial, killed it for us. We still offer it sometimes. A little bit less now because our clients are a little bit more senior and they're looking for more senior solutions and they're looking for operations. But why did it kill it for us? Because the person reading it has one pain point, and it's that they need revenue. And we learned this from doing a shit ton of sales calls, and before that we interviewed people. Anyways, and that freebie speaks directly to them wanting revenue. It's not vague, it's not generic, it targets the exact thing that they're usually losing sleep over. Nowadays, our clients are usually losing sleep over bad operations and things just breaking, or they're trying to grow their revenue but they cannot figure out what's blocking their revenue growth. So we also have free trials for that now too. Probably a good time to mention that we also have a client acquisition free trial and an operations free trial, which are a little bit more long-term solutions to building long-term infrastructure for your business. The 7K and 7-day free trial is something to help you quick and just give you a good understanding of what good lead generation looks like as well. Moving on. Okay, hire a prospector. This is one that a lot of people skip or they just never get around to it. And it's a lot of the times the reason why their lead generation is never consistent. Quick disclaimer, you don't really need a prospector if you're just doing email prospecting or email lead generation. Softwares like Instantly will run everything done for you. The only reason why you would want to have a prospector for your email prospecting is if you just are getting way too many replies and you're closing too many clients and you need someone to take care of it, or it's just all too overwhelming, you should probably get a prospector. Now for DMs and stuff like that, you should probably get a prospector instead of running automations. Here's the thing, there's so many outreach automations out there that will automate a ton of it for you. The issue with it is that they don't usually qualify the leads for you and they don't really read the room. I always know when somebody's sending me an automated message or when someone's using AI to send me a message and they've automated it with AI. I'm sure you guys can tell as well, because they just still do not get the quality of leads. And for example, on LinkedIn, you used to be able to send like 100 connections per day. That was dope. But like nowadays, you can probably send only 20 connections per day. So if you have an automation that's sending connections to unqualified leads every single day, you're effectively wasting your connections and your reputation will drop because you're reaching out to the wrong people. A prospector is usually a real person who has one job, and that's to keep the pipeline healthy. They qualify leads before reaching out. They handle responses in a way that feels human, and they follow up after the conversation, which is where most of the money actually gets made. How to hire one. You can start a job post while you are doing everything else. These things can run in parallel. So countries where we consistently find great talent for prospectors are the Philippines, Venezuela, India, South Africa, Greece, Chile. Here are some websites to post on. You can do Facebook groups, LinkedIn Jobs, Indeed, onlinejobs.ph. Full-time overseas contractors is the model we recommend. Part-time works depending on your volume goals. Commission only is a last resort if your budget is really tight, but it creates the wrong incentives. And it's also really important for you to pay your contractors more than their teachers, because in this case you have to remember that these are real people that you're hiring. They need to make a living. It's nice for them that they get to work remote, but like also make sure you have a bonus structure. Here's what your prospector needs before they start. A full workflow SOP. Not just what to say, but when to say, how to track it, what to do in every scenario. It's not written here, but I'll just say it. Written messaging templates with lots of variables, so that way they can customize the conversation to the person. Written replies for every situation. What do you say when someone replies positively? What do you say if they ask for a price? What do you say when they ghost you? And how are you following up? What are you saying in your follow-ups? A tracking system. Whether that's a Google Sheet or a CRM, they need to know how to log and manage every lead they touch. Okay, step 4. Update your website or landing page. While the job post is running and you are vetting candidates, this is a great time to make sure your website and your landing page match what you are actually now offering, because we've created the new offer, right? This sounds obvious, but a lot of people skip it, and here's why it matters. If your messaging on your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Facebook DMs, or your email message says one thing and your website says another, you create confusion, and confused people do not buy. They also don't book a call, they just leave, or they just think you're a scam. No bueno. Everything on your website and landing page should be written around the exact goals and pains you identified in step 1, and it should be calling out that exact niche as well. Again, it's not what you think they care about, it's what they told you they care about, right? So the big idea for this step is your platform does not matter as much as people think. LinkedIn, Instagram, cold emails, ads, whatever you choose is fine, but if you're testing all of them at the same time, you are never going to get enough volume on any of them to know what is actually working. So pick one, go deep, get the data, and then expand. Here's my expert tip. Please do not panic. Oh my God, please do not panic, please, please, please. Lead gen takes time to validate. One of the most expensive mistakes we see is when a company launches a campaign, gets a few days of data, panics, and starts a completely new campaign. And now you have zero data on any of them. Give it time. If something is clearly broken, fix it. Monitor it always. But do not start over just because it's not working in the first 42 hours. Small tweaks are fine. And please, please, please do not half-ass it. This one is simple. I get a lot of people that come to me that are like, I've done this before, and like we did this and da-da-da-da-da, and it didn't work. Well, you half-assed it. Full-ass that shit. The clients that usually get the results are the ones who go all in. They see the plan, they build it, and when it's working, they double down on it. And the ones who don't get results are the ones who do 80% of it, hit a slow week and start second guessing everything and panicking and then changing and oh yeah. Step 5, write your messaging. This is a part where a lot of people think is optional. It is not. You cannot just hire a prospector and send them into the wild and hope that they bring back some leads, because they will not bring you leads. Because if you're able to get yourself good leads and you're able to find good leads and write them good messaging, then you should try to duplicate that result, no? So your intro message. This is a clear first impression. It needs to feel human, speak directly to the pain point, and have a clear call to action. If your intro message does not have a CTA, what exactly do you expect this person to do? Now, when I say intro message, I'm not talking about connection request note, for example, on LinkedIn. Your connection request note, which is not written here, but your connection request note should be really, really friendly. It should not sound salesy at all, because if you're using LinkedIn, you have to remember that LinkedIn is not a selling platform. It is not a resume platform. It is social media. So be nice and be friendly, right? The do's and don'ts of follow-up. Do follow up multiple times. I recommend 3 times. Most people give up after one message. This is where the money is being left on the table. Do not use the same message to follow up over and over again. Goes without saying, but if you're making this mistake, what the heck? Welcome to this video. Do not follow up with just checking in. This is not a follow-up. And this is the really important part, and I see a lot of people drop the ball here. It's the positive reply follow-up. This is the one that kills most lead gen systems. Someone responds positively, maybe they say, sounds interesting, tell me more, and then you respond to it, and then they stop responding, and then nothing. Follow-up, no system for what happens next. Yeah, like I was saying, most companies fumble the bag right here. They get the response and then they either respond too slowly, say the wrong thing, or just never follow up at all. You need a written sequence for positive replies. This is a separate sequence than your main sequence, which is doing the outreach to get a first reply. What do you say when someone is interested? How do you move them towards a call without being pushy? This has to be mapped out and given to your prospector before they even start. Here are some small optimizations that actually really matter. Your calendar link should not be longer than it needs to be. I recommend 15-minute calls because it creates a little bit less friction. So the thing about cold outreach is they might need what you're selling, but they don't want to like you because it's cold outreach. And so you're a stranger, they're a stranger. Do not ask for a 30-minute, 60-minute call. That is way too long for 2 strangers. 15 minutes. If you need to extend, ask if you can extend the call while you're on the call, right? Lower commitments gets you more bookings. We actually did a huge test on this when we first started. We were getting a lot of high quality conversations on LinkedIn, but people just were not converting to calls. And what we figured out was that they just didn't want to book a 30-minute call with me, which is fair. They don't know me. I also look like I'm 12. Anyways, have space on your calendar. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to say this, but I have to say this pretty often. If someone clicks your link and the first available spot is in 6 weeks, or even just a week, you've probably lost them. And also, if they do book a week out, by the time they actually get to the call, which is a whole week later, they'll probably no-show you because they forgot why they booked the call. So you want to keep your calendar open for 14 days, not 60. The urgency matters. All right, so from here down, lead gen becomes client acquisition. Quick clarification before we continue. Lead generation is the act of getting someone to book a call with you. Client acquisition is everything that happens after that, getting them to show up, getting them through the sales process, and getting them to close. These are 2 different jobs with 2 different systems. They are in fact connected though, but people tend to forget one because they think of it as one system. All right, step 6, automate your CRM and follow-ups. Once leads are coming in, you need a system that handles the tracking and the follow-up without anyone having to remember to do it manually. The core automations you need, and these are base automations, and you should definitely get on it, is you gotta connect your calendar to your CRM. You can use Make, Zapier, MCP Claude, NAN, literally anything. Pabbly. The moment someone books a call, they should be automatically added to the CRM or their record should be updated. No manual data entry, no leads falling through the cracks because someone forgot to log them. Slack notification when a lead books. When a lead books a call, your prospector needs to know immediately so they stop following up with that person. This sounds simple, but most companies don't have it. And so the lead gets a follow-up message the day before the call, and it kind of kills the vibe. Next is get close CRM. I'm biased. I mean, like, technically you can have whatever CRM you want. I'm just saying close CRM is the best. Don't use HubSpot unless you enjoy paying a lot of money for something that is harder to use. God, I need to stop clowning on HubSpot. HubSpot is a high-level CRM tool if you have the enterprise-level budget to afford it, and even at that point, it might try to sell you stuff, but it is a very good base CRM. Moving on. Sequences and workflows inside Close. Now, in some CRMs, they call this sequences. In Close, they call them workflows. So it's pretty much automated email sequences that you can just press a few buttons and it'll just start a follow-up sequence, pretty much done for you and schedule them for you. And you don't got to touch a thing. And when you get a response back, it pauses the workflow, which is pretty great. So you need a workflow for every scenario that could happen after a lead enters your CRM. A few you definitely need. Number 1, when the lead books a call, you want to have a confirmation email and a reminder sequence that goes out automatically. You can just, if you use Calendly, you can just easily automate this with Calendly. I wouldn't even recommend Close for this part. I'd actually recommend whatever whatever calendar tool you have, it's probably going to work a little bit better. It's also really important for you to know that your confirmation email and your reminder emails should not just be what they are. They should not just be confirmation emails. They should not just be reminder emails. You are wasting emails, and you are wasting nurture space. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you add as much content that isn't super overwhelming into the confirmation and the reminder emails. Don't waste emails. Number 2, the lead shows up but doesn't close on the first call. Now, I don't expect leads to close on the first call, especially if they're buying something that's over $1,000, but this follow-up sequence should aim to get you at least a follow-up call, because you should not be leaving the first call without a follow-up call. What are you doing? The third sequence is the lead doesn't show up. So you gotta have a no-show follow-up sequence to see if they want to reschedule. Make sure that you sound concerned. Like, are they okay? Why didn't they show up? Maybe it was an emergency. Believe that they have integrity. Believe that they wanted to show up, but something just pulled them away and they absolutely could not show up. Give people the benefit of the doubt. The fourth sequence or workflow. The lead says they need to think about it. This is a nurture sequence. And so this sequence will probably be a long sequence. And when I mean long, I don't mean a lot of emails. I mean a lot of time in between. And so that way you can catch your leads at the right time. So your first nurture email could be 1 week. Your second nurture email could be 2 weeks, and then a month, and then 2 months. And some of them will start thinking about you, and then you can just have them go into some sort of newsletter, as long as you're opting them in correctly. The lead goes cold after initial interest. This is a reactivation sequence. It speaks for itself. Oh yeah, I already talked about this, but automated reminders need to have content, not just the reminder that your call is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Give them something in that reminder, a piece of value, a testimonial, a short video. Make them more excited about the call, and let them kind of get to know who you are as well. If a lot of the content has your face on it, it's okay if it doesn't. I mean, you shouldn't really brand your business around your face, but if it does, if you do, then you want to have your face on the content. But you don't just want to remind them that the call exists. I also just really hate wasted emails. I really, really hate wasted emails. And that is the base system. These are the fundamentals that you need to be able to get good lead generation and get these kind of results. So crazy that it generated $1 million in deals in just 12 weeks. If you're interested in having a lead gen system like this for yourself and your business, then you might want to consider our 7K in 7-day free trial or our client acquisition free trial, where we will write you an offer live and in front of you. We will write you some messaging also live and in front of you, and we will show you what good lead generation looks like and give you something that you can start sending to get leads right away. And if you qualify, maybe even close 7K in 7 days. Now, if you're not interested in lead generation and you're just here because you wanted to see how we do systems and how we think about systems, then you might be interested in our operations free trial. In our operations free trial, we go into your business and we identify and solve 1 to 2 brutal bottlenecks that are holding your revenue back from growing. And again, we do this live and in front of you. Everything we create for you in your free trial is yours. I think my social media is probably going to be somewhere around the screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope everyone has a great day. Peace.